All aboard. The Southampton is cruising around the Mediterranean Sea. There are a lot of tourists on the ship. Most of them are English, but some of them are American, Australian, or Canadian. It's the 6th day of the cruise, and their ship is sailing from Genoa to Naples. All of the passengers and most of the crew are on deck for the captain's party.
Hello, my name's Charles Beatty. I'm from Chicago.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Wendy Hillman.
Where do you come from?
I come from Stirling.
Oh, where's that?
It's in Scotland.
What an awful party.
Oh, do you think so?
Yes, I do. Oh, by the way, my name's Green.
My name's Nelson.
I work in a bank. What do you do?
Well, I'm the captain of this ship. It's my party.
Oh. I'm terribly sorry.
Would you like another drink?
Pardon?
Would you like another drink?
Oh, yes, please. I'd like an orange juice.
With ice?
No, thanks.
Telephoning.
Director inquiries. Which town, please?
Oxford.
What name, please?
Oxford University Press, Walton Street.
That's Oxford 56767.
Thank you. Can you tell me the code for Oxford?
0865.
Thanks. Goodbye.
MacDonald and Company, can I help you?
I'd like to speak to Mr. Walker, please.
Mr. Walker? Which department is he in?
Accounts.
Hold on. Trying to connect you. All right. You're through.
Number, please.
Oh, I'd like to make a transfer charge call.
Where to?
Stratford.
What number?
17414.
What's your name, please?
Joan Fitzgerald.
Can you spell that?
Fitzgerald.
And where are you calling from?
019926636.
Right. Hold the line, please.
Who are you telephoning?
Nobody.
Well, why are you holding the phone?
My watch has stopped.
I don't understand.
I'm phoning the speaking clock. Listen.
At the third stroke, it will be 8:52 and 30 seconds. Fizz is fantastic.
Let's meet Mrs. Edna Campbell from Glasgow. This is her kitchen, and on the table there are 2 piles of dirty clothes. Mrs. Campbell's got 3 young children, and she has to do a lot of washing. Now, we've got 2 identical British Electric automatic washing machines in the kitchen. Mrs. Campbell's going to wash this pile of clothes in new Fizz detergent, and that pile in another well-known washing powder. Now both machines are working, and Mrs. Campbell's making us a cup of tea. Ah, both machines have stopped, and she's taken the clothes out of them. Well, Mrs. Campbell, what do you think?
Well, I've washed these clothes in Fizz and those clothes in the other powder.
Can you see any difference?
Ah, yes. These clothes are much cleaner, and they're whiter and softer than the others.
These clothes? You washed these clothes in new Fizz.
That's right. Oh, it's much better than my usual powder. My clothes have never been cleaner than this.
Well, which powder are you going to buy next time?
New Fizz, of course. It's the best powder I've ever used.
Olympic report.
Good evening, it's 11:15, and it's time for Olympic Report. Our report tonight is coming live by satellite from the Olympic Games.
Good evening. Well, today's most important event was certainly the women's 200 metres freestyle. The American, Doris Kennedy, was first and got the gold medal. She swam the 200 metres in a new world record time of 1 minute 58 seconds. The USA won 2 gold medals yesterday and 3 the day before, so in the first 3 days they've won 6 golds.
This is Jack Lumber from Canada. This morning he won the men's javelin final. At his first attempt he threw the javelin over 100 metres. Nobody has ever done this before. Unfortunately, there was nearly a terrible accident in the javelin event. Henry Fraser, the British competitor, slipped when he was throwing his javelin, and it hit a judge in the foot. Luckily, it didn't hurt him.
Here we are in the Olympic gymnasium. Olga Ivanov, the 15-year-old Russian gymnast, has just finished her display. We're waiting for the results now. And here's the result. She's got an average of 9.5 points. That's the best score today. Olga's won the gold medal.
We're just waiting for the last jumper. Ted Kelly from Britain is going to jump. The bar is at 2 meters 30. Now he's beginning his final attempt. And he's jumped. Oh, he's crashed into the bar. He's landing. The bar's fallen. Is he hurt? No, he's all right. He's getting up and walking away, but he's a very disappointed man.
I'll be there.
Psst. He'll be here tomorrow night.
Will he? What time?
About 8 o'clock.
Will he be at the station?
No. He'll be at the airport.
Right. I'll be there. Will he be alone?
No, he won't. He'll be with his wife.
Will you be there?
Yes. I'll be outside in the White Rover.
What about the money?
Don't worry. It'll be there.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Monday morning.
What's the matter?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, come on. It's something. What is it?
It's just life. It's so boring.
Oh, it's not so bad. You've got Daniel.
But he's only a baby. It's all right for you. You'll leave the house in 5 minutes. I'll be here all day. When'll you come home? You won't come home till 7.
One of us must go to work, dear.
Yes, but your day'll be interesting. My day'll be the same as every day.
My work isn't always interesting.
I know, but you travel around. You meet different people, and you do different things. Who'll I meet today? What'll I do? Eh? I'll wash up, feed the baby, do the washing, clean the house, bath the baby, take the dog for a walk.
Dear.
Then I'll go to the supermarket, prepare dinner, meet you at the station, have dinner, wash up again.
Dear.
And then I'll feed the baby again, put the baby to bed. Oh, what a life. Today, tomorrow, this week, this month, next year, forever.
It's just Monday, dear. You'll be okay later.
Will I?
Dr. Soanso. Dr. Soanso is the Secretary-General of the United Nations. He's one of the busiest men in the world. He's just arrived at New Delhi Airport now. The Indian Prime Minister is meeting him. Later they'll talk about Asian problems. Yesterday he was in Moscow. He visited the Kremlin and had lunch with Soviet leaders. During lunch they discussed international politics. Tomorrow he'll fly to Nairobi.
He'll meet the President of Kenya and other African leaders. He'll be there for 12 hours. The day after tomorrow, he'll be in London. He'll meet the British Prime Minister, and they'll talk about European economic problems. Next week, he'll be back at the United Nations in New York. Next Monday, he'll speak to the General Assembly about his world tour. Then he'll need a short holiday. At the chemist's.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can I help you?
Yes, I've got a terrible headache.
Oh, how long have you had it?
Only about 2 or 3 hours.
Well, try these tablets. Take 2 with water every 3 hours.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'd like a toothbrush, please.
Nylon or natural bristle?
Nylon, please.
Hard, soft or medium?
Medium, please.
What colour would you like?
It doesn't matter, really. Oh, white's okay.
There you are.
Could I have a tube of toothpaste, please?
With fluoride or without fluoride?
With fluoride, please.
Is that all, sir?
Yes, that's all, thank you.
Shall I put it in a bag?
Please.
Good evening.
Good evening. Can you make up this prescription, please?
Certainly. Would you like to wait?
How long will it take?
It'll be ready in 20 minutes.
Oh, I'll come back later.
All right, sir.
Shall I pay now or later?
Later will be all right.
Lord Worth.
Come in.
Yes, sir.
No, Mary, I don't want you.
Who do you want, sir?
I want James. I want him immediately.
Yes, sir. I'll go and find him.
Ah, James.
Did you want to see me, sir?
Yes. I wanted to see you 20 minutes ago.
Sorry, sir. I was in the garage.
I want a car this afternoon.
Which car do you want, sir? The Rolls, the Mercedes, or the Ferrari?
The Rolls, I think. Yes, the Rolls.
Where do you want to go, sir?
Heathrow Airport, Terminal 2.
What time, sir?
We'll leave here after lunch at 2 o'clock. Ah, Charles.
Yes, sir.
I want an early lunch today, Charles.
Yes, sir. What time?
12 o'clock. Oh, and I want you to reserve a table at the Savoy for 7 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
And I want Mary to prepare the guest room for Sir Thomas. I want her to make a special effort. Sir Thomas is a very important guest.
Yes, sir. Anything else, sir?
No, Charles, that's all.
Look, feel, taste, sound, smell.
I like your fur coat, Helen.
Do you?
Yes. It looks very expensive.
Really? It wasn't expensive. It was second-hand.
Was it? It doesn't look second-hand. It looks brand new.
Oh, it feels cold in here.
Does it?
Yes. Is the radiator on?
Yes, it is. It'll feel warmer in a minute.
Waiter! These vegetables aren't fresh.
But they are fresh, sir.
Well, they don't taste fresh to me.
I'm sorry, sir, but...
And the wine. It tastes sweet. And I asked for dry.
I'll get the manager, sir.
Listen to my new hi-fi, John. Does it sound all right?
Yes. Sounds fine to me.
I think the bass is too loud.
No. Sounds perfect. It sounds better than mine.
Have you changed your perfume?
Yes. Why, do you like it?
Yes. It smells terrific. What kind is it?
It's Charlie.
It smells expensive. Is it?
I don't know. It was a present.
A science fiction story. The spaceship flew around the new planet several times. The planet was blue and green. They couldn't see the surface of the planet because there were too many white clouds. The spaceship descended slowly through the clouds and landed in the middle of a green forest. The two astronauts put on their spacesuits, opened the door, climbed carefully down the ladder, and stepped onto the planet. The woman looked at a small control unit on her arm. "It's all right," she said to the man. "We can breathe the air. It's a mixture of oxygen and nitrogen." Both of them took off their helmets and breathed deeply. They looked at everything carefully. All the plants and animals looked new and strange. They couldn't find any intelligent life. After several hours, they returned to their spaceship. Everything looked normal. The man switched on the controls, but nothing happened. "Something's wrong," he said. "I don't understand. The engines aren't working." He switched on the computer, but that didn't work either. "Eve," he said, "we're stuck here. We can't take off." "Don't worry, Adam," she replied. "They'll rescue us soon."
It's much too hot.
Come on, Susan, hurry up. Drink your coffee. The train's leaving in a minute. We'll be late.
I can't finish it. It's much too hot for me to drink.
Why don't you put some milk in?
I don't like white coffee. Oh, okay.
There. Is it cool enough for you to drink now?
Yes, but it tastes awful. Oh, there's the train. Bring the cases.
Ooh! What have you got in these cases?
Only clothes. Why? Are they heavy?
Yes, they are.
Oh, the taxi driver managed to carry them.
Well, they're too heavy for me to carry.
Well, I'm not strong enough to help you. Porter! Oh, Michael, I didn't tell you. My sister phoned yesterday.
Oh? Which sister? Andrea?
Yes, she wants to get married.
Married? But she isn't old enough to get married. She's only 17. Who's she going to marry?
Basil Caraway.
Basil Caraway? I don't believe it. He's much too old for her. He's over 60.
I know, but she loves him. Oh, no! That was the last bus home and we've missed it.
Well, let's walk. It's a nice warm evening.
It's 4 miles. It's too far for me to walk. Call a taxi.
A taxi? My name isn't Rockefeller. We aren't rich enough to travel everywhere by taxi.
Michael, you've forgotten something.
What?
We've got 3 suitcases. Do you really want to walk?
Okay. Taxi!
A phone call. Hello?
Mary, is that you?
Yes, Mary here. Who's speaking?
It's Mike.
Mike? Mike who?
What do you mean, Mike who? Mike Connors, of course.
Oh, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yes, we had a date last night. Where were you?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. I couldn't come.
Couldn't come? Why couldn't you come?
Well, I had to wash my hair.
Wash your hair? Why didn't you phone me?
I wanted to phone you, but I couldn't remember your number.
But it's in the telephone directory.
Yes, I know, but I couldn't remember your surname.
Oh. But why did you have to wash your hair last night?
Well, I had to do it last night because I'm going to the opera tonight.
The opera? Who with?
George Johnson, my boss's son.
I see.
He asked me yesterday. I didn't want to go, but I couldn't say no.
Army Careers Office.
Good morning. Are you the new cleaner?
No, I'm not. I want to join the army.
What? You? In the army?
Yes, I want to be a soldier. This is the Army Careers Office, isn't it?
Well, yes. Sit down, sir.
Thanks.
Now, why do you want to be a soldier, Mr.
Briggs. Tommy Briggs. Well, I saw the ad on television last night and it looked nice. Holidays, money, girls, pension, travel.
I see. Yes, it's a good life in the army. It's a man's life.
Ah.
Now, have you got any questions?
Yes. Will I have to get a haircut?
A haircut? Oh, yes, you'll have to get a haircut and wear a uniform.
A uniform?
Oh, yes, and you'll have to obey orders. But you won't have to clean the toilets, you know. I've never had to clean the toilets.
What about the work? Will I have to work hard?
Oh, yes, you'll have to work hard. But all the girls like a man in uniform, you know.
And what about promotion?
Oh, yes, there are a lot of opportunities. Perhaps you'll be a general one day.
OK, I'd like to join.
Yes, sir. Just sign your name here.
There you are. Tommy Briggs.
Briggs!
Hey?
Shut up! Stand up straight! Now, quick, march! Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right.
A traffic survey. The city of Oxford has got a traffic problem. It's an old town and the streets are narrow. There are too many cars and not enough parking spaces in the city centre. The planning department wanted to change the traffic system, and so they conducted a traffic survey. They asked a lot of people these 5 questions. 1. How old are you? 2. Can you drive? 3. How long have you been able to drive? 4. Where do you live? 5. How do you come to town? Here are some of the results. Mr. Brown's 58. He learned to drive when he was 18. He's been able to drive for 40 years. He lives in the country, 20 miles from Oxford. He always comes into town by car. Mary McIntosh is 20. She's had a lot of driving lessons. She's taken the driving test 3 times, but she hasn't been able to pass the test yet. She lives near the city centre, and she usually walks to work. Bob Brewer's 25. He's been able to drive for 2 years, but he hasn't got a car. He hasn't been able to save enough money. He lives in a village outside Oxford. He comes into Oxford by train. Mr. and Mrs. Wilson are both over 65. They've never been able to drive. They've never learned. They live in a suburb of Oxford, and they occasionally come into town by bus.
Australia House.
Now, Mr. Jones, why do you want to go to Australia?
Well, I'm really thinking about my children. You see, there aren't many opportunities here. I lost my job last year and I haven't been able to find another one. Will I be able to find a job in Australia?
What do you do?
I'm an electrician.
Oh, you'll be able to find a job easily.
What about accommodation? Will I be able to find a house?
Well, that is a problem, but there are hostels for new immigrants.
And what about my children?
Oh, you'll be able to find a good school in Australia. Now, why do you want to emigrate to Australia, Mrs. Baxter?
It's Miss Baxter.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
That's all right. Well, you see, I've never been able to find the right man in England.
Well, Miss Baxter, I can't promise anything, but there are a lot of men in Australia.
Will I be able to find a tall, dark, handsome man there?
Ah, Miss Baxter, this is Australia House, not a marriage bureau. Come in, take a seat. Mr. Cook, isn't it?
That's right.
Why do you want to go to Australia, Mr. Cook?
I don't. I just want to leave England.
Pardon? What qualifications have you got?
Qualifications? Oh, I've never been able to pass any exams.
Well, what will you be able to do in Australia? How will you earn a living?
I don't know. But I won't be able to work very hard. I've got a bad back.
Checks and credit.
Next, please.
I'd like to cash this cheque, please.
Yes, madam, £30. Oh, you haven't signed it yet, madam?
Oh, haven't I? Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Here you are.
Thank you. How would you like the money?
4 5s and 10 1s, please.
I'd like to change these francs, please.
Yes, sir. How many francs have you got?
200. What's the rate of exchange, please?
The current rates are on the notice board, sir.
I'd like to buy this, but I haven't got enough cash with me. Do you take travellers' cheques?
Certainly, sir.
Good. How much is that?
It's £30.
What's the exchange rate?
Oh, I'm not sure, sir. I'll go and check.
Good morning. Can I help you?
Yes, my name's Davis. I'm expecting some money from my bank in Toronto.
By post, cable or telex, sir?
By telex.
Let me see. Ah, yes. Davis. £200 from the Royal Bank of Canada, Toronto. Have you got any identification, sir?
Well, I haven't got my passport, but I've got my driving license. Will that be all right?
Yes, sir. That'll be all right.
A holiday in Egypt.
I looked through this brochure last night, and I'd like to book the summer holiday in Egypt.
Yes, sir. The Hotel Cleopatra?
That's right. How far is it from the hotel to the beach?
About a 2-minute walk.
Good. How hot is it in Egypt in July?
About 28 degrees centigrade.
And that's the Great Pyramid, Mr. Harris.
Oh, yes. It looks very high.
It's about 137 meters high.
How long are the sides?
They're 230 meters long.
It's incredible. How old is it?
It's nearly 4,500 years old.
We're going through the Suez Canal now.
It doesn't look very wide. How wide is it?
About 60 meters. And it's 162 kilometers long.
Really? This is a big ship. How deep is the canal?
The average depth is about 10 meters, but they're going to make it deeper. Hello there, Mr. Harris. Are you coming on the excursion to Cairo today?
Oh, yes. How far is it?
It's about 150 kilometers.
Good. How long will it take to get there?
Only 3 hours.
Comparisons. Mr. and Mrs. Kent are old-age pensioners. They go to the shops every Saturday. They have to walk up a very steep hill between their house and the shops. They both walk slowly. Mr. Kent always has to wait for his wife at the top of the hill, because Mrs. Kent walks more slowly than Mr. Kent. Diana and Margaret work in the same office. They're both good typists because they type carefully. Diana never makes a mistake, and Margaret rarely makes a mistake. Diana types more carefully than Margaret. Some drivers occasionally have accidents, but Alan and David are very careless drivers. Alan has already had 2 accidents this year, and David has had a lot. David drives even more carelessly than Alan. Both Carlos and Miguel are good students. They speak English well, but Miguel has spent a year in England, so he speaks English better than Carlos. Tyneside United and Humber Rovers are both near the bottom of the 4th Division. The football season has nearly finished, and Tyneside have won only 1 match. They've played very badly. Humber Rovers haven't won a match yet, and they haven't scored a goal. Humber have played even worse than Tyneside. Tony and Jim work for a construction company. They're very hard workers. They work about 12 hours a day. Tony often works at weekends. He earns more money than Jim because he works harder than Jim.
A day off work. Bill Walker works for an import-export company. Last Wednesday morning, Bill rang his office at 9 o'clock. His boss, Mr. Thompson, answered the phone.
Hello, Thompson here.
Hello, this is Bill Walker.
Oh, hello, Bill.
I'm afraid I can't come to work today, Mr. Thompson.
Oh, what's the problem?
I've got a very sore throat.
Yes, you sound ill on the phone.
Yes, I'll stay in bed today, but I'll be able to come tomorrow.
Oh, that's all right, Bill. Stay in bed until you feel well enough to work.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Bill.
Mr. Thompson liked Bill very much. At 12:30 he got into his car, drove to a shop and bought some fruit for him. He went to Bill's flat and rang the doorbell. Bill's wife, Susan, answered the door.
Oh, Mr. Thompson. Hello. How are you?
Fine, thanks, Susan. I've just come to see Bill. How is he?
Oh, he doesn't look very well. I wanted him to see the doctor.
I'll go in and see him. Hello, Bill.
Oh, hello. Hello, Mr. Thompson.
I've brought some fruit for you, Bill.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thompson.
Well, I had to pass your house anyway. How's your throat?
It seems a little better. I'll be okay tomorrow.
Well, don't come in until you feel better.
All right, but I'm sure I'll be able to come in tomorrow.
Bye, Bill.
Goodbye, Mr. Thompson.
At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Mr. Thompson locked his office door and switched on his portable television. He wanted to watch an important international football match. It was England against Brazil. Both teams were playing well, but neither team could score a goal. The crowd were cheering and booing. It was very exciting. Then at 3:20, England scored from a penalty. Mr. Thompson jumped out of his chair. He was very excited. He was smiling happily when suddenly the cameraman focused on the crowd. Mr. Thompson's smile disappeared, and he looked very angry. Bill Walker's face, in close-up, was there on the screen. He didn't look ill, and he didn't sound ill. He was smiling happily and cheering wildly. Applying for a job.
Come in, come in. It's Mr. Chandler, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. How do you do?
How do you do? Please take a seat.
Thank you very much.
Well, I've got your application form here. I just want to check the information. Is that all right?
Yes, of course.
Now, you're 31, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
And you aren't married, are you?
No, I'm not. Not yet.
Mm-hmm. You went to secondary school and technical college, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
But you didn't go to university, did you?
No, I didn't. I started work when I was 20.
I see. You can speak French and Russian, can't you?
Yes, I can, but not fluently. I speak French better than Russian.
But you can't speak Spanish, can you?
No. No, I can't.
You've been to France, haven't you?
Yes, I have. And to Germany and Russia.
So I see. But you haven't been to the Middle East, have you?
No, I'm afraid I haven't. But I'd like to.
Good. Come in, please sit down. It's Miss Wallis.
Yes, that's right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Well, I've looked through your application. Can I just check the information?
Of course.
Now, you're 22.
Yes, I am.
You aren't married?
No, I'm not, but I'm engaged.
You didn't go to technical college or university?
No, I didn't.
But you learned to type at secondary school?
Yes, I did.
You can speak French and Italian?
Yes, I can, but I can write them better than I can speak them.
I see. You've been to Switzerland?
Yes, I have, and Italy.
And you can take shorthand?
Yes, I studied it at school.
Four disasters.
Good evening. Our programme tonight is about disasters. This year there have been fires, plane crashes, earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. All our guests tonight have survived disasters.
Hi, I'm Bill Daniels. I live in Chicago. I was working in my office on the 28th floor of a skyscraper. I was dictating some letters to my secretary when the fire bell rang. I rushed out to the lift, but it wasn't working. The stairs were full of thick smoke. We couldn't go down, so we had to go up to the roof. When we got there, some people were waiting calmly. Others were shouting and screaming wildly. A helicopter managed to land on the roof and rescued 6 of us before the building collapsed.
My name's Martha Huggins. I was on holiday in the South Pacific, and I was staying on Pagohiti, a small island. I was having a rest when the volcano erupted. The noise woke me up. I looked through the window. Everybody was running towards the harbor. I just put on a coat and ran to the harbor, too. I managed to get on a ship. It was leaving when the lava hit the town.
Hello, I'm George Green. I'm a farmer. I was working in the field behind my house when I saw the plane. It was on fire. Smoke was coming from the engines, and it was coming down fast. I was running towards my house when it crashed into the trees behind me. I heard a terrible explosion. When I woke up, I was lying in an hospital bed.
Good evening. My name's Michael Pert. My wife and I were staying with friends on Santa Monica in the Caribbean. We were having dinner when the earthquake began. Everything shook. All the plates and food fell onto the floor. We were picking everything up when the ceiling fell onto us. We couldn't move, and we had to wait for 3 hours before help arrived. Travelling by air.
Can I check in here for the British Airways flight to New York?
Yes, sir. May I see your ticket and your passport?
Here you are.
That's fine. Can you put your suitcase on the scales, please?
Of course. How much does it weigh?
23 kilos.
I'm sorry, but you'll have to pay an excess baggage charge.
Oh, it's only 3 kilos overweight.
Yes, sir. That's £6. Thank you. Would you like to go through to the departure lounge?
British Airways Flight 179 to New York is now boarding at Gate 4.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
I didn't hear that announcement. Which flight did they call?
Flight 179 to New York. Are you going there?
Yes.
So am I. Gate 4's this way. Follow me.
May I search you, sir? It's just a security check.
Of course.
Thank you. Ah, what's this in your pocket?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. It's just a metal comb.
May I see it, sir?
Certainly. Here it is.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Captain Gibson and his crew welcome you aboard British Airways Flight 179 to New York. We're now flying at a height of 30,000 feet. Our speed is approximately 600 miles an hour. We'll land in New York in 5.5 hours. The temperature in New York is now minus 3 degrees centigrade. In a few minutes, you'll be able to see the Irish coast. Our stewards and stewardesses will serve lunch in half an hour.
I've cut myself.
Oh! This knife's sharp. I've cut myself.
Oh, let me see it. It's okay. You haven't cut yourself badly. It's only a scratch.
But my finger's bleeding.
Oh, don't be a baby. It isn't bleeding much. I'll get a bandage.
Did you see the play on television last night?
No, I didn't. What was it?
Romeo and Juliet. I cried.
Cried? Why?
Well, it was very sad. At the end, Romeo killed himself and then Juliet killed herself.
Sounds silly to me. Why do they kill themselves?
For love.
They were silly, weren't they?
Now, my guests tonight are the 2 rock musicians, Dean and Darren Osborne.
Hello.
Now, you both play the guitar very well. Did anyone teach you?
No, we just bought some guitars and we taught ourselves.
I see.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, that's all right, Mrs. Green.
It was our first wedding anniversary yesterday.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. We went to that new restaurant in the high street.
Did you enjoy yourselves?
Oh, yes. We had a very good time. We had 2 bottles of champagne.
Have you seen my new electric cooker?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's got an automatic timer. It can switch itself on and off.
Choosing a pet.
Good afternoon, madam. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm looking for a pet for my son. Can you suggest anything?
What kind of pet does he want? A traditional pet, a cat, or a dog? Or something unusual?
Well, he'd like a snake or a crocodile. But he isn't going to get one.
We've got a nice Alsatian dog at the moment.
An Alsatian? Did you say an Alsatian? Oh, no. I've read about them in the paper. They're very big and savage.
Oh, no, madam. They aren't as savage as some dogs.
Really?
Oh, yes. Last week we had a small dog. It was only as big as your handbag, but it was as savage as a tiger. It bit me 3 times.
Perhaps not a dog, then.
How about a cat?
A cat? They aren't as friendly as dogs, are they?
No, but they don't eat as much as dogs, either. And they're very clean. They wash themselves every day.
Oh.
Or how about a bird? A parrot or a budgie? We've got both.
Which do you recommend?
Well, budgies aren't as easy to train, and they never speak as well as parrots.
Yes, but budgies don't need as much space as parrots, do they?
That's true. Budgies are very popular because they're so easy to keep.
Yes, but they're a bit noisy, aren't they? I want a quiet pet.
A quiet pet? Well, how about a goldfish? There's nothing as quiet as a goldfish.
Checking an alibi. There was a bank robbery in central London yesterday. Just before closing time yesterday, a robber entered the Butcher Street branch of the National Westminster Bank. He was carrying a shotgun and wearing a stocking mask over his head. There were only a few customers in the bank at the time. He made them lie on the floor while the cashier was putting the money in a sack. As he was leaving, the security guard tried to ring the alarm. The robber shot him, and the guard is now in St. Patrick's Hospital. Surgeons are trying to save his life. Last night the police arrested a man in South London. He is now helping the police with their inquiries.
On Tuesday afternoon, I was at Ascot Races with my girlfriend, Isadora Bell. We left my flat at 1 o'clock in my white Jaguar and drove to Ascot. We didn't stop for petrol, but we had lunch in a pub. I don't remember the name of the pub, but it was somewhere between London and Ascot. We had beer and sandwiches outside. We arrived at the racetrack at 1:55 in time for the first race. We stayed there until the last race at 5 o'clock. We were very lucky. I won a lot of money, but I can't remember exactly how much. That's why I had a lot of money with me when the police came to my flat at 5:30. I left Isadora in central London. She wanted to buy some clothes in Oxford Street. I don't know where she is now. You're John Alfred Smithers.
Yes, I am.
You're 36.
Yes, that's right. It was my birthday yesterday.
You sell cars.
Yes, I do. And other things.
You live in Ealing.
Yes, I do. I've lived here all my life.
You went to Ascot Races yesterday.
That's right.
You weren't alone.
No, I wasn't. I was with Isadora Bell.
But you're married. Smithers.
Yes, but I haven't seen my wife for 3 years.
I see. Now, you left your flat at 1 o'clock.
Yes, about 1 o'clock.
You were in your Jaguar.
Yes, I was.
You didn't stop for petrol.
No.
You had lunch in an Indian restaurant.
Oh, no, we didn't. We had lunch in a pub.
You don't remember the name of the pub?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
You had chicken and chips.
No, we had beer and sandwiches outside.
You arrived in time for the first race and stayed until the last race.
Yes.
You were very lucky.
Yes, I was.
You won £5,000.
No, I can't remember exactly how much.
There was £5,000 in your flat.
Was there?
You don't know where Miss Bell is now?
No, I'm not her husband.
But you left her in central London because she wanted to buy some clothes.
Yes, yes.
It's very interesting. Mr. Smithers, you've got a very fast car.
What do you mean?
The last race at Ascot began late and it didn't finish until 5:25, so you drove from Ascot to central London and back to Ealing in 35 minutes in the rush hour.
That's impossible, Mr. Smithers.
Dinner with friends.
Hello. Hello, Ken. Hello, Barbara. Come in. Shall I take your coat?
Oh, thank you very much. What a lovely house.
I'm glad you like it. Dinner's nearly ready.
Where's Anna?
Oh, she's in the kitchen. She'll be here in a minute. Just going to the dining room. How about a drink before dinner?
That's a nice idea.
Here we are.
Ah.
Dinner's ready. Sit down, everybody.
Thank you very much, Anna. Everything looks wonderful. It smells delicious, too.
I'll put the salad in the middle of the table. Shall I serve you?
No, it's all right. We can help ourselves.
Yes.
Rob, could you pour the wine, please?
Yes.
Ken, help yourself to vegetables, too.
Would you like some more brandy, Barbara?
Oh, no thanks. No more for me. I'm driving tonight.
Oh, come on. Just a small one.
No, really, I mustn't. I'll help Anna with the washing up.
Washing up? No, don't worry. We always leave that until the morning. Here are your coats.
Thanks. It's been a marvellous evening. It was very kind of you to invite us.
Don't mention it. It was nice to see you again.
Well, we enjoyed ourselves very much.
I'm glad. You must come again.
Good night. And thanks again.
Good night. And drive carefully. It's a very wet night.
The bad boy of British football.
Stanley Walsh, the Eastfield United football star, is in the news again. Yesterday he didn't arrive for a training session. Last night, Brian Huff, Eastfield's manager, was very angry. Stanley has had a lot of arguments with Huff. Huff spoke to our reporter last night.
Where is Stanley, Mr. Huff?
We don't know.
When did you last see him?
We spoke to each other 5 days ago. I haven't seen him since then.
How angry are you?
Very. This is the end. Stanley Walsh won't play for us again.
But Stanley's the best player in England, isn't he? Did he give a reason?
No, he didn't.
Has Stanley got any personal problems, Mr. Huff?
I don't know. But he's a very selfish man. He only thinks about himself.
Our reporter later spoke to Mrs. Lucy Walsh in her £50,000 apartment.
Where is Stanley, Mrs. Walsh?
I don't know, and I don't care.
When did you last see him?
We haven't seen each other for 2 weeks.
Have you spoken to each other? Or written to each other recently?
No, we never want to see each other again.
But why, Mrs. Walsh?
Ask Stanley.
Our reporter found Stanley at his villa in Spain. He was with Inga Carlsson, the Swedish actress. He seemed very happy.
How long have you known each other, Stanley?
We met each other in a disco 3 weeks ago. It was love at first sight.
But what about your football?
Oh, football can wait. Inga's the most important thing in my life. We love each other very much and we understand each other.
And your wife, Stanley? What about your wife?
Oh, that finished a long time ago.
What happened?
Well, I was in love with Lucy for a long time. We taught each other a lot, but...
But what?
Well, we started to hate each other. We couldn't even look at each other.
So what are you going to do next?
I don't know. Asking